You're listening to the Mad Positivity Pos'Cast,
helping you find your freedom.
Broadcasting live from London.
What's up? This is the Mad Positivity Podcast, and as usual, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Russell. What's up, Russ? How you getting on?
All good, mate. All good.
All good.
Yeah.
Want to recapture what we were talking about before from the episode 7, Don't Be a Melt episode, where we touched on something that we wanted to come onto again about the personality matrix that you were talking about when you're feeling like you're melting off a little bit, and you want a little bit of motivation, how to sort of bring yourself up. I want to over elaborate a bit.
Yeah, when you feel like you're about to enter the Meltrix or commit melticide, or if you feel like this is why I'm being paid Meltman wage.
Meltman wage. There's so many memes.
There's so many coming out.
So many memes. But I love that Meltman wage.
Meltman wage. Yeah. Don't commit melticide. All right, it's just not worth it because you can control these faults and know when you're being melty.
Yeah.
Okay. And I actually learnt this from David Lloyd. Okay. Not to plug David Lloyd or anything like that. I used to be a manager for them, a sports manager and sales. But when I was in management, I became a bit of a melt myself. And my staff were running crazy, and I just blamed them for the reason why they were turning up late. We wasn't hitting targets, the gym wasn't tidy, everyone was making life hard for me, sabotaging my rota, net returns affecting my income, my stress levels, my relationship, my weekends, my time off. And obviously back then, not having the same mindset, escalates, and I wasn't owning my own faults or owning my staff. And I got taught this personality matrix, and the 4 words I use to summarise it can be summarised in other ways, so don't take offence to any of them or anything like that. But this is what I learned, and this can be useful for yourself. You can notice it with your work colleagues, your staff, your peers, your family, friends, and so on.
Yeah.
And all of the 4 the 4 quadrants of the personality matrix. I've been guilty of many times over, all 4. So I've been one of these 4, and could be one of these 4 during an entire day. Mm-hmm. It just depends on how you're feeling and what efforts you're putting in and what you're doing, okay? And it comes down to 4 sections, okay? So the first one is players, the second one is spectators, the third one is victims, and the last one is cynics or terrorists, all right? Oof. Not to get touchy, but, becoming a terrorist. So we break this into 4 sections, and if you understand these, and hopefully you do after listening to this podcast, you'll understand when your staff, your friends, your family, people around you are kind of acting out these kind of personality traits, and you're thinking them and doing them yourself, so you can catch yourself and always be a player, which you'll understand. It's always good to be a player in life.
Yeah.
Not what we try to be in our early 20s.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not that type of player.
Those days are definitely gone.
I'm not doing this those days. Cut that out.
That might be a future episode, that one.
Yeah. But I'll start with that's when we get Craig on. We're not about a player. No. Just the man. We will have
the man who completed Tinder.
The man who completed Tinder.
To that one. This will be good.
Literally, yeah. We've got to get Craig on for that. But the first one, which we'll talk about, is, however, they don't have the energy levels to back it up.
You're a fan.
So they're a fan, they don't do what they say.
Okay.
You might catch yourself saying, look, this weekend I'm going to clear out the garage, or if you're in sales, I'm going to go do my 30 sales calls, or I'm going to post that first blog post, or I'm going to get out of my comfort zone, or have that first workout. And you've got all the enthusiasms about it up here in the brain, but when it comes to actual effort and actioning, you're a spectator. And you sit back and you watch other people that are already doing it. Okay? And what that starts to do after a while, because you're not getting what you want out of life because you're not putting in, you then start to blame everyone around.
Is that professional procrastination?
Professional procrastination, exactly, or what I like to call mental masturbation. Oof. Okay, mental masturbation is giving yourself all the tasks to keep you busy, but not productive. Spending 2 weeks on your logo instead of making your first sales call. Worrying on what the right fucking apple cider vinegar to buy instead of just shoveling their shit in your mouth. All right? It's mental masturbation.
I like it.
Okay? And that's what's just making you feel good
Yeah.
by not doing nothing and justifying it.
Yeah.
So what happens is if you're a spectator for a while, like I'm using the word spectator, you can use fan, whatever you like. Like I've been guilty of being a spectator many times in life, and those that are listening, because it doesn't quite happen for you and it's quite hard to look in the mirror and take that blame, who do you blame? Everyone else.
Yes, yeah.
Which makes you...
It goes outwards, not inwards.
Exactly, which makes you the next part of it, which is the victim. Okay, and the victim blames everything and everyone around them for why they're not getting out of life.
It's an excuse to not take action and not take accountability.
Exactly, and that comes from being a spectator, by not putting in the action, not doing the steps, thinking but not doing. So then when you become a victim after a while, you then become a terrorist. All right?
Start sabotaging other people.
Other people, yeah.
Okay.
So you start, well, you just want to fuck shit up, basically. And I've seen that. I used to manage, 16 to 20 personal trainers at one point, and learning this, I got to see when people were like showing these traits and learning methods of how to help them own that, identify it, and then put action steps in to then move from the cynic or terrorist, from the victim stage straight to the spectator, and then move up to the player.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then when you're a terrorist, you literally you're just talking shit all the time, you're talking negativity, and what's going to happen is like, what I noticed with my staff was, you're meant to be an ambassador for the health club.
Yeah, of course you are.
Rave about the place.
You are there to motivate.
Yeah, and members are going to complain. They're going to say, like, the showers aren't working properly. And instead of being the player and the ambassador for the club, you instead of saying, like, oh, yeah, we're trying to fix that problem. However, like, did you know we've got a complimentary spa open, or we've got this, or I can give you some guest passes. Instead, when you're in that victim down to terrorist attitude, you'll say, yeah, I know. And the showers stink, and the changing rooms are crap, and the staff are this, and so-and-so sleep with someone in this department. And you just start talking shit. And that's not good for anyone.
Bad mouth, isn't it? Yeah, I've seen that before, actually. Funny enough, we spoke about this before previously with work that you've done as well, where people... But the thing is that's, like we said before, that terrorist sort of... It brings out the other victims, and it makes them into terrorists as well, because now they've got something to bitch about.
Yeah.
And it's these people don't have a lot in common with everyone else.
No.
And that's why they magnetise to each other. But then once you've got your team that's got that little sort of cancer in it, that's got to go.
It's got, yeah, it has to.
Otherwise, that's uncurable. Otherwise.
Well, saying that, this is what when we first opened ABC Fitness, I remember doing a speech with them all, because they get 6 weeks of coaching with us for free.
Yeah,
so if you join ABC Fitness as a PT, over 12 weeks, we give you a workshop every 2 weeks, which is teach you everything you need to get your business off the ground. And I speak about the personality matrix in that. And you saying about the cancer, we're like, yes, the gym itself or your business is like the human body.
Yeah, of course it is.
And
you've got work together.
Yeah, me and Jerry are the brain. Okay, not so big in ourselves, a big head, but we are. Our staff are the blood.
Yeah.
Because that's pumping everything around and what works. And our clients and our members are the lungs. They breathe life into the place and will keep it going. And every now and then in the gym, whether it's a member of staff, there is a cancer. And that cancer is when you are being a bit cunty, a bit victim-y, you are being a bit of a terrorist, or you're being a bit of a cynic.
Yeah.
But with any type of cancer or disease, you can either treat it, but if it can't be treated, you just got to cut that out.
Spread.
And that's what happens. And the idea is going back to the start of the personality matrix.
Prevention is better than cure. Build a positive environment that people, even if they have a small amount of negativity, when they come into, it almost becomes unnatural for them to be negative. And that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, it really
that's
does.
actually what you and Jerry have built.
Yeah.
To be fair, in that
we just literally force it upon you every day. We're drowning you in positivity. We're always finding solutions, not problems.
That's what you want, though, isn't it? You want that.
And it just creates that great work environment. And then what we create out of that is what I want to be every day, is what you should want to be every day, and everyone listening, is to be a player. So not a spectator, because that leads to the victim and terrorist mentality, is to be the player. Is that you actually do what you said you would do. And I know that sounds like such a simple sentence, but if you just think for a few seconds after I say this, what would happen in the next 6 months if you just did what you said you would do?
My wife would be happier.
The
grass would be cut.
Yeah, exactly.
All those shelves would probably be put up. You know what I mean? It's not just that. It's like, I would just, but everyone's got ideas. This is the beauty of implementation and accountability. There is, and you're right about looking for someone to blame. right? When inevitably the someone to blame is you.
Yeah.
You're to blame. No one else is to blame, because you can find time to do it. You can find time to be whatever you need to be. That's it. Whenever you need to be. Let that dog in.
Yeah, let that dog in. Yeah. But no, it is true.
Dog wasn't getting in the office. No, just I have 1,000 ideas. 1,000 ideas a day. Some of the time, and I've started writing them down. I write everything down. I write everything down and I elaborate on it, even if it's a sentence. Something I might think of something. Like this morning, I wrote down monkey mind. Right? Yeah. Because when I was in the gym and I was running and I couldn't write while I was running, I was thinking about you have to go back to that primitive system of working, like the same sort of thing. It's like you hunt, you eat, you find a mate. That's it. And if you approach problems and you approach your business in that way, it's income, profiteering growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you take it back to a primitive value. Now, and I wrote that down to write a blog post or to write a chapter in my book about it and everything else. And that's how I approach things. But before I started writing things down, those ideas would come in and they just drift off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I've said this before. My mind's like, if you've ever been in a busy train station, right, and you stand on the second level of a busy train station, you look down and it's just fucking people everywhere and it's noise. You can't zero in and hone in on each conversation. That's what my mind's like. It's like there's 1,000 things going on and each one of those things is an idea. And the idea is to get the person in, get him on his train, get them on their way. And that's the same idea in my mind. So to get the idea in, put the idea on the train, which is like to action that idea, and build on it and elaborate on it. And for so long, nothing was working. Nothing was going until I started to write things down, started to make a plan. And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of... I'm not being... I suppose in a funny sort of way before, I've been a little bit of a terrorist because I've had a little bit of resentment for people who have actually taken action when I felt I was ahead of them at one point. And because they took action, they were ahead of me. But even that I learned from. You can learn from it. You don't have to feel bad for being that way, because I don't, because it was that sort of motivation that shot me straight up into being a fan, being a spectator. And when you're a spectator, at that point you're almost doing a recce, and any army book or anything you'll ever read is when you're on a recce, obviously you're looking around and you're taking in information. You're very seldom wasting time, because as long as you're learning, I would look at YouTube videos, I would read books, I would talk to people, I would surround myself with people like yourself and in the gym, to really build that up, to know that when I implemented it, it was something that everybody wanted. It was something that was not just what I wanted. You need to get gratification. I've got a couple of courses, but I want to run them past people, because it's not about what I want, it's about what I can teach other people to help them along that line. You know, and as a spectator, that's that time where you're on that teetering edge, is where you fail again. Don't lose enthusiasm. Keep failing. Whereas some people get to the first fail and think, I can't do this, fuck this, and then they go back to being a victim. The whole point is, like, I tell my children and everyone else around me and all the people that work for me and everything else, embrace failure.
Yeah, of course.
If you're not failing, you're not fucking trying.
Yeah.
And I say to, like, my son comes in and goes, I didn't do too well on that test, or I didn't do too well. I said, good, I'm glad you didn't. Good. He was like, why? Because now you know what you've done wrong. Yeah. You've highlighted a problem. Yeah. There's a chink in the armour. Yeah. That's it. And you strengthen it. A wall is only as strong as its individual parts, same as a chain. If one brick's out, the whole wall's weak. That's it. So you highlighting it, fail again. Like I said before, WTF. Not what the fuck.
Yeah.
Willing to fail.
Yeah.
Be willing to fail. Go out and embrace failure. Fucking own it. You know, I did that. Fuck that right up. But the next time I went back, epic.
Exactly.
You know, fail fucking good. Fail positive. Don't fail negative. And that's the key. And that is really what it's about. And that's such a great analogy, that personality matrix.
Yeah.
It really is.
And being the player is what gets you. Yeah, you've got to become the player.
When you're the player, you have to have the same enthusiasm as when you was a spectator, because...
But then follow through with more action.
Because then that's your fucking killer point, right? Yeah. First of all, when you're a spectator, taking the action to be a player and be successful, but it don't stop there. A lot of people sit on their fucking laurels, but because you've got constant growth, you know, that's when you're going to primitive mindset. for that sort of,
Of course,
stuff.
yeah. And it's like you were saying about like to get to that kind of that player status is means that you are actioning what you think about and that you want to do. And obviously
you've got to
sit
evolve.
on the fence. Yeah, of course you've got to evolve. But it's also like, you know, you were saying like you've been a bit of a spectator because of the grass and everything else. But I'm always talking about, and we are, about falling in love with the process and don't worry about the outcome and it will come. But I think when it comes to just getting that starting point, 0 to 1 instead of 0 to 100, I think sometimes visualising the outcome is better.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's seeing it done. For example, like, if you come home from a long day's work and your missus isn't home yet, but there's loads of washing up on the side and think to yourself, that porridge bowl ain't mine, I can't be fucked to do this. But if you then think...
Mindset aggravates me.
Yeah, but this is the kind of seeing it done thing. And it's like, if I visualise in my head, like, if I don't do this and she comes home, it's a bit awkward, we have an argument, but if I see the outcome done, so instead of the process, think, fuck the process, see it done.
Because
she
she's
comes
expecting to walk in the door to this washing up, it's done, and all of a sudden it's like, you know...
If it's done, she's going to be happy, you're going to be happy, and you're going to have a good night.
That goes a long way. That's it. I'd give a good night.
You're going to have a good night. And it's those little things. It really is. And it's the same thing with doing that first blog post. It's like, if you're holding back doing that first blog post or video or first phone call, just see it done.
But also... See
the outcome and go, right, that's going to make me feel better. Count to 10, just fucking do it.
For me, right, that first blog post, first podcast when I was doing this, I was a massive king of procrastination with this. Because you know what? I was more focused on what fucking mic do I need? What camera do I need? The website that I need to build? What fucking software? Rather than, right? And I wrote a blog about this actually, right? And just basically forget about all that shit. Gary Vee says it best. Right, Gary Vee. I'll say this for Gary Vee that this particular one. If you listen to the Gary Vee podcast or the Gary Vee Experience, it's called. Right, it's even when he's in his studio, the audio doesn't sound fucking super crisp. Right, like if you listen to Joe Rogan, Jamie, his producer, fucking genius, that man, and you see the switches between the mic check, switches between the video and everything else like that. He does that manually. That's not done by anything. He does that manually. It's crisp and everything else. Now Gary, he likes to do like Gonzo. He wants it raw. He wants it to be as if he's out doing something and you're there with him listening. That's it. So he'll pull his phone out and you'll see him on videos. He'll be standing there talking to you and his phone's up by his ear or he's holding his phone like that. It's because he's recording it and then he fires that out on his podcast and the audio is not perfect. But he's got millions and millions and millions. And the reason is it's not the audio, it's the fucking content.
Yeah, it's the content.
Produce good content and everything else will follow. If you're just producing good content and you haven't got the decent kit, people will want to listen to it. Advertisement will come in and you'll build money and you could build it up and you could build a better platform. If you're producing shit, no one's going to want to listen to it. That's it. It's not going to want it. You've got to produce, like everything in life, you want value, right? You're not going to walk into a shop and go, do you know what, I'm going to buy that. I'm never going to wear it. Looks shit. I'll buy it. I want it. No one does that. No one does. They want something of value, something fun, something they want to, listen to, something they want to do it. And the key for me is I want to help other people. It took me a long time to get to where I am. Do you know what I mean? It took me 38 years to become an overnight success. Do you know? That's it. And I look at my children and
overnight success.
And I just want to. I want them to see that, like, if I can do it, they can do it. And I want them to be to spring into action. But I also want them to feel like they've got nothing to lose because that's how I appreciate. I appreciate. I ain't even a fucking word.
After this, I'm
going to buy a dictionary. Appreciate. That's it. There's a new word there. I appreciate. So I appreciate the approach. That's what it is.
Boom.
So it's appreciation. That's it. It's all in the way you approach everything. That's it. It's just try. Just try.
Yeah.
Do it. That's it.
It really is the way you approach things, and it's seeing the world with different eyes. It really is. Like I even saw a meme the other day, and it was a picture at the top and a picture at the bottom of the same person, and the top one says, "No one gives a shit about me," and he looked all sad, and then the second one below was, "No one gives a shit about me," and he was all like happy. Because if no one gives a fuck, who gives a fuck?
But
I can go and do what I like.
That's it.
But it's how you say and how you interpret it.
Glass full, glass empty.
Yeah, so like, and it's not saying that no one gives a fuck about me as in like no one cares, but like, who really cares? No one cares about your wearing or how you feel. It's only in the moment they do.
The problem with
when
that
you get home with all the shit there.
Me and you are quite lucky. right? Because we grew up in an era with no Instagram, no YouTube, no Facebook, no, like, obviously, I'm 39 this month, end of this month, I'm 39.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the 80s. We didn't have it. We had the phone that went with the circle. And if you messed up, you're like, shit, put the thing down and go back again.
Yeah.
That's it. There was a video about that. It was brilliant. So, and then if you want to go and see your mates, you get on your bike, you ride around there. Now, we appreciate life without technology. Okay? So, I personally, and when I say this, I genuinely believe it, and I know you do as well, right? I genuinely don't, I've never been bothered about what other people think it's about anything, and I don't let that affect me.
No.
Right? And there was a meme once that said, once you don't care about what other people think, you reach a dangerous level of freedom. And when I say I don't care about what other people think, not in a negative way, it means that I'm not bothered about the haters, I'm not bothered about the negativity, I'm not bothered about the terrorists, the victims. I want to surround myself with people who want to grow, people who want to be successful, and if I'm a success and everyone around me is a success, we all elevate together, right? And then you feed off each other, and it is like the sides of a teepee. You all lean on each other. One goes, the whole thing falls down. And to surround yourself with people like that is great. But what you said about the two people, no one gives a shit about me. The person said, and at the bottom, no one gives a shit about me. That's it, and the person's happy. The difference is now kids have grown up, right, they need gratification through social media.
Of course, yeah.
Now, there's a Black Mirror episode, and I've only watched a couple of them. Have you ever watched Black Mirror?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, it's fucking
on my watch list.
epic. So good, so cleverly written. Well, this one particular episode, right, is about, and China have just started to do this, and this is the weird thing. So you've got a social credit rating. So people can meet you, like we might meet, we'll have a conversation, and then you would rate me in my conversation after we've left each other.
Right.
So you could get a 3 or a 4, and then your social rating is like 100 or a 30 or 40, and that's used as a credit rating. So if your social rating is really high, you can get the best car, you get the best house. You know, the people that get the best place. But if social rating is down low, you can't get as much. You can't do this. You can't eat at certain places. And it was about having a social credit rating. People would rate each other. Like an Uber driver, you'd rate when you get an Uber. You rate the driver rates you.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got a social rating. So before you do it, like you could say, "Oh, this person's fuck it. I don't want to pick this person up, or I don't want to get in this person because he's argumentative or whatever." It's the same principle, right? So this particular episode has I can't remember the girl's name. Oh my fucking god, the ginger girl who's in Jurassic Park, the new Lost World film. It's Ron Howard's daughter,
right?
From Happy Days, and the one who directed the Da Vinci Code and all that. It's her who's in it. This particular episode, right, is amazing, and it's about how your life is affected by this social, like the sort of the need to be socially accepted. To go back to what I was saying before, the person at the top is a young person today. Like, they need that Instagram, they need the likes, got to have the Snapchat, got to have the friends. Everything's on a social network level. But the person at the bottom is someone like us, who grew up without that, doesn't need that gratification, and only sees those as a platform. They're a platform to grow, to reach out to people, for business. That's what it should be. So the person at the top needs that social lift. They're the person that's like, oh, I need to like... I need people to like my pictures. Need people to, and it means a lot to them. Like the pictures of them, duck face. Like I've took 186 selfies, and this is the best one I've got. Took 3 or 4 hours. Got to have 1,000 likes. If it hasn't got likes, oh my god, do people hate me? People hate me. What is it? Is it my lipstick? Is it my face? Oh my god, is it the wrong camera angle? Is it this? Worrying about all that shit. Whereas like the person at the bottom is like, man, people don't give a shit about me. Whatever. I'm posting it because of how they want to do it. That level of social gratification is killing it. Yeah. Because people still, like, a while ago, people were moaning about magazines having skinny girls on there, and girls thinking that that's how I should look. Like, that image that they want to portray, oh, I'm fat, or I'm this. When it's not. It's about how you feel about yourself. Yeah. The reason these models are super skinny is because the clothes look good, because they just hang on them, because it's like hanging it on a fucking stick doll.
And it's Photoshop.
Listen, let me tell you something now, ladies, right? And this, and I say this, and I speak for most men, I think 99.9% of men. If you had a Ferrari, right, and you just drove it straight, it get fucking boring. Okay? You want to drive it on the curves. You want to see on the corners. We love the curves. Okay, so stay big.
love that.
So stay big. That's it. Listen, I'm telling you now, men will go for a woman with a big butt, yeah, and curvy, and any day of the week. Yeah, you don't go into a restaurant and ask for. Is there any bones from that? You want fucking meat on
The
it.
fucking dog.
You want the meat. That's it. He does. Dog. Yeah.
The dog likes a bone.
Dog likes a bone. You don't want a dog, ladies. You don't want it. That's it. You see, don't be worried about it. It's social gratification, but we live in that era now where everything is online. Advertisers, marketers are pushing to this. It has its pros and it has its cons.
Yeah,
so obviously where it is. But people let that social thing get to them as well. Comments.
Of course, yeah.
And this is another place where you're going to get that social, like you're going to get players, spectators, victims and terrorists. And unfortunately, online, there's a lot of cunty people.
Terrorists. Keyboard warriors.
And they are all, and the keyboard warriors are the people that, because they can't do it, these are the ones who will tell you, oh, that's impossible, you can't do that. No, it's impossible for you because of your limited fucking mindset. These are the people that will fucking kill your business. And and it's arsehole-ish for the sake of being arsehole-ish. You know? You're going to come across people all the time. But that's because these are your shoulda, coulda, wouldas. These are the people that didn't take action and are always going to be asked, oh, I could do that better, I could do this better, but I never will.
Yeah.
But I could.
Yeah.
If I wanted to, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
No, it's not that you don't want to, it's you can't. Because they hit that emotional fucking brick wall, yeah, and they think, instead of trying to climb that brick wall and trying to find a way to do it, they want to drag you there as well to go and spread that fucking wall. It's like Donald Trump's fucking wall of shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that is basically what they're doing.
Yeah, and do you know what they also do, which I find with a lot of people, with myself and others, is that when you start, you know, obviously, like they see that you're doing things slightly different to them, or your life's going in a different direction, or whatever it may be, and because what happens with me is you get questioned a lot about your actions and the way you live your life, and what happens is they try to find flaws in your logic and your process. Yeah. So if you have a certain way of thinking, or certain rituals that you do every day, or a certain way that you live your life, or you know, the way you work out, or the way you treat people, the way you think, they're often trying to question your logic, question your processes to see if they can find a flaw. Because if they do find a flaw in it and you don't have an answer for them, which I always fucking do, alright? Okay? It's not because I'm an arsehole, it's because it's fact.
Because all these fucking negative people ask the same fucking question.
Yeah.
That's why.
And what happens is what they're doing is they're hoping to find a flaw in your logic and your process, so it justifies their own shitty effort of a life. And their behaviour.
Or it justifies their lack of effort.
Lack of effort, even, yeah. Because if I'm not getting what I want out of life and I'm constantly asking you questions, and if I find a flaw in it, it goes, well, there you go, aha. And then it gives me justification to carry on doing what I'm doing and still moan about it. Because for something to change, something has to change. From
your level, though, from the gym side of things, right? It's got to be frustrating that people come there and go, oh, nothing's happening, or I'm not losing weight or whatever else, and then you turn around and say to them, I've seen you do this quite a few times, and you turn around and say to them, well, what's your diet like then? Show me your diet. Send me a picture. You're always telling me. You give me shit like fucking everyone else in the 5 a.m, 6 a.m. Send me your MyFitnessPals. We all share it with each other. And you know, that accountability, and because they're not willing to do it and they think that you're going to go in there, wave a magic wand, and they're going to walk out looking like fucking Peter Andre in the early 90s, right? It's not going to happen. You've got to do it with work. Everybody's got a six-pack.
Yeah.
Everybody. I don't give a fuck who it is. Even Gemma Collins has got a fucking six-pack, right? It's just under a couple of quilts. That's all. Do you know what I mean? Some people are happy to be big. Gemma, you're beautiful. Stay big. It's fine. Right, but some people want to get smaller. But the bigger you are, and the more you've let yourself go, right, and the more you procrastinate, which you will do, you sit there and you think you'd rather reach for the Doritos than a fucking kettlebell.
Yeah.
Rather reach for the kettle crisps than the kettlebell.
Yeah, yeah,
right. That's going on the fucking.
That's going on there as well. Yeah.
That's it. You know, and that motivation. Don't feel bad about that, right? Feel bad that you don't do fuck all. Get up, walk to the kitchen. Walk back, glass of water. Walk to the end of the road. Walk back. But don't like be arsehole-ish with everyone else just because you don't want to do nothing.
No.
That's the thing. And don't say, oh, try and justify your lack of effort, right? Because you can't be bothered to see it through 100%, right? You're not going to. You're just not going to. It's got to be work. Everything else. If you get it just like that, the click of the fingers, yeah, it means nothing.
No.
Like, if it's something's given to you, it means nothing. If you've worked your fucking arse off for it, it means something.
Yeah.
That's why if you've got a £5 watch and a 50 grand watch, the 50 grand watch means a lot to you. It's not because of the price per se. It's because how many hours, right, have gone in to that watch. Now, when I buy something, right, I always put this formula, right? You take something, let's say there's a pair of Yeezys. I wrote an Instagram post about this, right? So, pair of Yeezys, £500, let's just say. And you get paid £10 an hour, right? You've got to justify how many hours you got to work to get that £500. So it's £500, it's how much time. Like you said about the in-time thing, that's what set me off, right? Yeah. So you said about people pay for things in time and everything else. It's no different. Yeah. If you don't look at the money, look at the time. How long did it take you, right? How many hours did it take you to earn that money? You're paying for it in time, not in money, right? So if you think of 50 grand, and someone earns £1,000 a week, that's 50 weeks. That's nearly a year it's taking you to buy that watch, right? Yeah. That watch is a year of your life. Yeah,
it's a good way, isn't it?
So, whereas the £50 watch might be 10 minutes, an hour, half a day, so your money, and you're like, you know what I mean? That's it. It's paid. That's how I look at things. That's it. I look at it in time now rather than money. You know. And is what I'm buying worth the amount of effort and time that I put into it? So you're always judging it by, because I worked a week to buy this. Yeah, is it worth a week of my life?
Yeah,
that's
the juice worth the squeeze.
I like it. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I love that. I like that.
That's the next blog post.
It's very good. Yeah, is the juice worth the squeeze? Fuck it, I'm writing that down.
You're going to write it down.
Is the juice worth the squeeze? Why not? Yeah. No, that personality race is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I learned that 8 years ago, I think it was, and I use it, I can notice it with other people. I use it for, obviously, any thing I need to do with staffing, but it's also in a positive way. If someone's acting like a player, then I want to give them, some positive reinforcement behind that. I want to give them some good feedback. I want to encourage it more so that we can be surrounded with a group of players so we all keep doing really, really well.
What do you do? There must be some players with a slight negative mindset to the point where, like, I'm one of these people that I've tried to always advocate if everybody wins, we all win. Yeah? Because all of you, like I said to you about the people have baby showers, so business showers for your pals, like turn up, buy their shit, big them up, like put them across your network. You're all networking with each other and doing it. But sometimes you get some people that feel that they're so big they don't want to share that.
Oh, you can still be a player and still be a dick.
Yeah, be a dick. Yeah,
you can. Like, it's
or
just
sabotaging other people so you stay at the top.
Yeah, and once again, that will come from what we talked about before, having the scarcity and the abundance mindset. So you can be, you can be an absolute player in life. Like, you keep action in action in action. You get shit done. You conquer the next task, and you excel yourself and exceed the tasks that are done. You oversell. You hit target and above, whatever it may be. But it can be for the sake of others, or you can have that scarcity mindset, like what I spoke about before, saying that you're always thinking there isn't enough around, you're not really willing to help other people, you don't want to share any knowledge, you would rather all your competitors like burn to the ground rather than you're not that bothered because you get a certain feeling out of it. But by having that abundancy, the opposite way, you get more out of life because you're collaborating.
That is because it could be one of two things. Is it because they copied and plagiarised to get to where they are, and they haven't got something or a product or something specific that is unique to them?
Authenticity.
This is what I mean. So have they just taken an idea and just stole it or done whatever, and then they don't want someone to get to that point because it could be someone else could get to that point? Do you think that's what it causes? That they've just...
scarcity. That's what it is. That's where the scarcity mindset comes from, because you're not being authentic. It's not your own. Like, nothing is our own shit because we're always modelling. You know, most of the quotes that I say and the minds of it, you are modelling. But if you model it and make it your own, that's where it comes from. But
I do how you put it across.
Yeah, I do a lot of Facebook advertising. I write a lot of copy for my adverts and blog posts and emails and so on. And I've had someone just plain straight copy and paste one of my adverts.
You telling me this, I do remember, and it was word for including the spelling
and grammar mistakes.
Yes, I remember us talking this. Yeah,
but I remember it was actually one of my old students, and also was an employee at ABC Fitness, a guy called Warren. So Warren, if you're listening, hello. I hope you're doing well. But he inboxed me on Facebook Messenger, and he said, "Look, dude, do you know like someone's like got the exact same advert as you up with the same copy, like selling the same shit?" And I was like, I'll have a little look. And I even knew the guy. He used to actually work for the same company I used to as well. And he said, like, what are you going to do about it? And I said, I'm not going to do anything. I said, I might like it. I might even share it. Because that's where this abundance mindset comes. Because look, he's not got any authenticity there.
Of course he isn't. That's right. So how is he going to go to the next level? When people start buying, when people start
this is what happens.
He can't be you.
He doesn't know the product. He doesn't know what he's selling.
Or the process.
He doesn't know the process. He doesn't know the value. He doesn't know what's implemented into it. And also, look, they can copy a text, they can copy a business, they can copy a logo, but they can't copy you.
Is he still doing it now?
That's happened a few times. Yeah. But I honestly, it doesn't even faze me because saying with that abundance mindset, look, whether they click my advert or his.
This is also why video is pretty good.
Yeah, video is great. But
you can't copy that.
Exactly. But whether they click my advert or his, okay, or they go onto your blog post or theirs, when it comes through to the product being delivered, right? If you know the product in and out and you've traded yourself, it's going to be great. If not, people only buy dog shit in a can once. All right, that's what's going to happen. People will only buy dog shit in a can once, and they're not going to get the value. They're not going to get the follow through because they don't know it. Also, when they're on the other end of the phone,
all right, they'll get a follow through.
But when they're on the other end of the phone to me or the imitator, they're going to get a completely different service. You write it down.
Dog shit in a can.
Dog shit in a can. It's true, man. So I don't actually care if people want to copy and imitate what I do. I post my workouts up online. I post my recipes. I post my morning club.
Content, isn't it?
But you are right with video. Video is raw. It's authentic. It gets more pattern interruption on social media, so people are going to watch.
To advertising and marketing in 2019.
And they get a feeling based on you.
But people want to have an interaction. Yeah. So you can read something, you can listen to a podcast. Now, I don't listen to music in the car anymore. But like so much so my wife and my kids are, oh my God, I can't believe you heard this song. It's because I don't listen to music. The only time I listen to music is when I run. Right? That's it. Right? But it's people want interaction. Right? Now, I've looked at your recent because they flash up on my posts and about the Busy Men's Fitness Club taking action every goes your videos that you've put out recently.
Yeah.
To me, they strike because you're listening to a podcast. It's like you're sitting and you're listening to a conversation, right? And I love that. You feel captivated.
Cool.
But if you've got a video, it's almost as if you're speaking personally to them.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the key, I think, to marketing. Like. You're trying to approach someone, you're trying to do it on a personal level. Now, I know you're a big advocate for email marketing and everything else. It's never really been...
14,000 people saw that video.
Is that for what?
For that video.
Oh, 14,000 people have seen the video I was just talking about. There you go. Video I was just talking about, 14,000 people. 1 week?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But that's with target adverts. That's targeted ads. So organic reach can only get you so far because you're following all that.
And what's the cost of that, if you don't mind me asking?
Right, just to put it into perspective,
I'm just saying, right? Because this is an interesting fact.
Yeah, because
people listening would want that. If you want,
this isn't me being
in 1 week.
Yeah, this isn't me being Charlie Large Bananas, Billy Big Bollocks, saying I know everything and anything. But I've invested about 40 grand of my own money in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I know. I remember you.
Okay, at least 10k a year. I'm always willing to invest at least 5 to 10% of my yearly salary back into myself.
You've got to put that.
You have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Advertising
minimum 5.
Key.
Anywhere up 10, 15, 20%, because you put it in, you get it back. And I've learned certain methods and processes on how to do targeted ads.
Through failure.
Yeah, through failure, through paying for lessons and all that sort of stuff, and also winning from lessons. And when you get this Facebook stuff right, you kind of got a license to print money. It doesn't always work.
It has become more expensive.
It's become way more expensive, and it is going to be in the next couple of years. But when you learn how to do it, like I've failed many times. I've done video adverts, copy adverts, images, carousels, whatever it may be, and they've flopped. but I keep going and going again.
Yeah,
When I look at the last advert, was the language not
what is it
specific? Was the image not congruent with the message? Was the landing page not congruent? Was the colour scheme off? You know, for a certain time period, people were more likely to click orange buttons rather than red. And then red changed to blue, and you know all these subliminal messages that you don't really, maybe, I don't know, but by going over and over again, you figure out this process, and you can learn more about it, and you can literally get yourself, excuse me, more of a return on your investment than you would do at any bank, any ISA in the world, and you really will. And I'm still working at it day by day and week by week and so on, but the advert itself,
that
I mean,
14,600 and something, right? Now, am I right in saying that in order for a view, what they call as a physical view, that's a minimum of 3 seconds, correct? Someone's got to stop scrolling, look at the video for a minimum of so many seconds, and then go on.
Yep.
Not just scroll straight past it. Yep. That doesn't count.
You can look at like 10%, 50%, 100% video views, but it has to be a minimum of 3 seconds for it to count. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a funnel, isn't it? It all works from a large number down to a small. So, you know, I ran that ad for 1 week, so from Sunday to Sunday, and it was specific. So it's all about being specific to audience. Because if you write a generic email, or you write a generic blog post, or you write a generic advert, or your content is generic, as we said before, you'll get generic results. It's like if you just post, like, because obviously I'm in the fitness industry, like, who wants to lose weight that is a male or female with ears and eyes and a brain and all that crap? And it's just like, that is fucking everyone, all right? And your wording and your copy, what you write, isn't going to hit as many pain points, isn't going to create as many desires. It's called AIDA. So you want to talk about, like, the action of what you do. You want to gain interest by being specific. You want to create desire and then tell them, attention, interest, desire, and action. So you want to get someone's interest with the first thing. So AIDA, A-I-D-A. So you want to get someone's attention. So something has to be attention. Attention could be video. It could be oit you, or ladies only, or 10 people want
Please don't click away.
Please don't click away. Yeah. So all that sort of stuff. And then you want to get the interest of someone. So the interest is like you speaking about maybe a case study or something someone's just recently done, or more about your product. Then you want to talk about desire. So the desired outcome, or the desire of what they want, but also a little bit on pain points as well. Okay. So where they're now, where they want to get to. You know, it's all about, like, you know, you're on an island of unhappiness now, you want to get to an island of happy, so you need to build your raft, and the raft is what you build. It's a bridge model, so you're bridging the gap. So you're building your raft to the island of happiness. Yeah. And then the end part is an action. So if you don't have a call to action at the end of your blog post, at the end of your email, at the end of your podcast, which is what we're going to be implementing soon. So once again, we're being spectators with this, but once we become the players, there'll be a link for you to click. If you don't say click here for more info, or ring this number, or email me here, there's no action point either. But the idea is to be specific, and you said it before, it's like you should write your messages, your emails, your copy, your adverts, your video, like the video I did, even this, what we're doing right now, this podcast, we are talking as if we are talking to one person. And everything should be, because that becomes your niche, or your niche, as Americans say, yeah? Fucking niche. Anyway, right? That becomes, no offence, we do have 12% of our viewers in the States, so thank you very much. Niche. Much love. Sure. Yeah, so your niche, yeah. So, and that is how you speak the language of your clients. And if you're consistent with that over time, then people will know, like, and trust you. They'll know who you are and what you're about, and figure out whether they like you or not. You might listen to this podcast and be like, actually, they're not for me. But if you keep listening and we're consistent with our message and consistent with what we're trying to achieve with giving our value and our content, you're then going to build some trust. And if you can build trust with your audience, they'll be more likely to break their kind of interaction cherry. You know, to kind of bust that cherry, interact for the first time, comment, like, share, whatever it may be. But you're kind of opening them up.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, okay, cool, we've had a little, you know, first base, let's get a second, third, and then you'll get the sale in the end. And that's with that consistency and being specific.
Because they trust you.
Exactly. So
and
my
avatar, you're producing decent kit and not dog shit.
Exactly. So you have an avatar, you know, not those big blue weird people, but an avatar is your ideal customer. So after time, you should be able to fill up at least an A4 sheet of paper with your avatar. So what is their age? What is their gender? What is their income? Are they single? Are they married? Yeah. What are their desires? What are their pains? What do they want out of life? What are they consuming? All this stuff. But once you figure it all out, like my success rate of marketing first point of contact to sell is so much higher with my Busy Man's Fitness Club online and offline than it is for any other product that I try and sell for ABC Fitness. And the reason being is because in a gym, it's very general. Because it's health and fitness. It's people just want to lose a bit of timber, move a bit more, feel better about themselves. But if we sell a specific product, then you can get specific results and it's actually more actionable and it happens quicker. It takes a lot more time. But with my Busy Men's, it's literally become, and this is not me sounding big-headed or blowing smoke up my own arse, but it's become just an easy, painless, enjoyable process.
Nobody does it. And it's also, it's not just the training side of it. There's a social aspect to it as well. Which is what I like.
Of course.
But see, and as we get older, men, that is, we're simple creatures. That's it. That social aspect of things, and you know, that's in a time where no one's going to moan about it. Your wife's not going to whinge that you're out of the gym at 5 a.m. No, she's not going to do that because she was asleep or whatever. You know, you're getting that done, but she will at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. You're in the pub.
Exactly.
Yeah, and rightly so sometimes, you know what I mean? You come home, spend some time with your family. But if you get everything out of the way beforehand, you almost get a sense of, like Mike Tyson said, I always feel like I'm training when other people are sleeping.
Yeah.
You get the edge.
Yeah.
You feel like you've got the edge. It's out of the way. Also, after work, if you want to go and have a pint or whatever else, it's done. You've trained. Don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to have balance in everything. We're not saying like don't drink, don't do anything else like that. Enjoy yourself, be you, but just moderate it. So as your attitude's got to be good time management.
Yeah.
I spoke about this before. It's just you've got to have time to do everything, time to implement it. Don't procrastinate. You know, are you busy or being productive?
Yeah.
You know, just busy.
You become a busy fool, as they call it.
That's it.
Well,
you're busy doing shit and not being productive.
Exactly.
Like what you're doing. I've done that so many times. And it is frustrating because when you finish, you're like, God, the day's gone and I feel like I've done shitloads, but in actual fact, I haven't done fuck all.
Oh, fuck all, yeah. And the time's gone.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And it was the same thing with my advert. I spent ages just trying to think, what would be the right lighting, the right setting? Do I need a microphone? Do I need this? I was like, I just need to make a video, write a copy, think about my target audience and get it done. But just to give you a bit of like a perspective of what I got from that, it had, I spent £120.42. Okay, so
was that did you pick a specific budget or did you just say so much a day?
A tenner a day I started with. Okay, so this isn't to impress anyone.
No,
this is just to impress.
Facebook ads are a minefield.
Yeah.
Most people don't know how to navigate. So
exactly.
You can set a specific budget or you can set so much a day. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
And because I was being specific, and as I said, like, you know, this isn't to impress anyone. Mainly just to impress upon you what you can do. All right. So yeah, £120.42 was spent. £120. So I started with a tenner a day.
In 1 week.
Started to make in 1 week, Sunday to Sunday. Mm-hmm. But I started to build traction with the advert. I made my first sale within 24 hours. Okay, and the sale was worth a lot more than what the advert was costing me. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think you still, if you know that you've got a lifetime, whatever lifetime value you think you have on a customer. So if they're going to constantly repeat buying, I think you should be willing to spend at least 80% of what their first sale is worth to get them. So if you're selling a £1,000 product, you should be willing to spend £800 for that client.
Yeah.
I know you're only making £200 profit, but if you give me £200 and I'll give you £1,000 back, how many times are you going to give me £200?
Yeah, but you've put 80% effort in. You should also put 80% effort in, or 100% to keep them.
Exactly. But then if you know they're going to keep buying every quarter that £1,000 and they're going to do it for a year, really, what's happened is that £800 has actually made you £4,000. So if you look at that, so it's looking at the lifetime span of your clients. So you don't want to be a one-trick pony. You want to build retention by giving value and good service, because if the journey's great for your clients and the service is great and you're making them feel valued, they'll stay with you. So what you've got to think is, like, what are you willing to put in to get a new customer? Because any new business needs new customers, and any business that wants to survive needs to keep selling and take on new customers. But if you can retain them for longer. But just going back to the marketing side of things, where I was saying, like, you know, how this can work is that this one video ad in itself, which is the first campaign I've done in February of last month, was, budget of £10 a day. I had a look to see if it was running well. I made a sale, and then I increased the budget to £20 a day. And over the course of 7 days, I spent £102.47. And out of £102.47, I took on 6 new clients. Okay? And those clients were a value of either £350 or £600. So thereabouts in the middle, I made just under 2.5K.
Wow. That's, out of that. So that's a 2,000% profit. Hugely, yeah. And you name me a bank or a ISA or something that gives you that amount of profit. It really, if you get this right... It's the bank of get the fuck up and get it done. That's what pays that.
Exactly. But you've got to be willing...
Impressive. That's impressive, yeah.
But you've got to be willing to take the lows, willing to take the failures.
Oh, yeah.
So, for example...
It takes time to obviously get that. You didn't just off the cuff get it right first time.
No. And 14,629 people saw that advert, but only 6 people bought. So you see how the funnel works. So from all those people...
But how many of those are... Think about it. How many calls did you have though? People saying, I'm going to do it, and haven't. 6 have pulled the trigger, is what you're saying. But how many of that, obviously, engagement?
Well, engagement, 102 people clicked.
So
they read the copy, they saw the advert, they listened to the video and watched the video, and 102 people. So that's like 1%.
So you got the 6 clients who pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
How many more called you and said, I'm interested. These are the ones you got to remarket to and obviously go back to them.
Yeah.
They're not 100% sure, like they want to do it. These are like, do I want to be? Do I want to be a player, or do I want to still stay?
Well, this is what it comes down to. So from 14,000 to 100 people clicking to only 18 people actually reacting to it by actually clicking, I would like more information.
Right. Okay.
So you can see how it goes down.
So we went 14,000 to 106 engagements. To 18 people that 18 on the engaged, 6 that got your thing.
6.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a 1 in 3.
That's still good.
But if you do the math for a 2,300 or something pounds return on investment, which is fucking ridiculous. What I know to do for the next one is if I triple my efforts, I'll get triple the traffic, triple the clicks, triple the post engagements, and triple the sales.
Well, it costs you £15 per person to get a team.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, that is it. And I did get some people on the phone that it wasn't either a good fit, or they wasn't ready, or they gave me the same bullshit excuses that everyone does. I need to speak to the missus. I haven't got the money, whatever it may be. But
the whole point of the 5 a.m. is that you're doing things that are not interrupting your family life, not interrupting your work life, that are not interrupting time with your missus, not interrupting time with your mates. Mm-hmm. It's not interrupting anything. Mm-hmm. Is it? That's the whole point. That's why I personally was, because after work you come home, you see your kids, you have your dinner, you ain't going out again. Yeah, isn't it? You're sitting down, you're watching telly, you're playing with them, you're reading a story, you're doing whatever. It's not going to happen. When you finish work, you're tired. Sometimes you're stressed out. You don't want to go in there and do it. If you go to the gym afterwards, it's like, you never want to spend any time with me. You never want to see. You never want to spend. You always want to go to the gym. Are you meeting people? Who are you talking to? It incites that sort of thing. But if it's in the morning, it doesn't incite. It's like it's out of the way. It's time that you've just got up early. The only reason it incites is if she turns over and goes,
put a shift.
Yeah, put a shift in before I go. In which case, at 5 a.m. I'll go tomorrow, boys. You might send a text message in the group chat and say, boys, I
did my own version.
Well, but then again, what do? You only miss the first 10 minutes.
Exactly, 10 minutes.
Get it done.
10 minutes.
You get it done.
Was that 9 minutes left for a couple?
That's it, yeah. Best 1 minute of my life. You know what I mean? That's it. Get it done, get out and get back to the gym.
But that is it. But I'm trying to provide a non... it's a bullshit-proof program. And that's what happens when you're specific for your niche, because if you have got your target audience or your avatar, like your route to market, your ideal customer or client on the phone, it should never come down to the end of the call to price. It should be value. And if it's value, then that's my fault, and it's your fault that the person is selling the product. So then you get a chance to then resell again by overcoming objections and saying, well, if it's value, let me ask you, because every time you don't make a sale, every time you don't make a sale, it's your fault. It's the salesman's fault.
An objection.
Yeah, because you're going to come up with objections, and if you don't handle them correctly, or if you haven't said the right things in the beginning by setting an agenda, setting the scene, making sure you get agreement, getting them to say yes at least 3 to 4 times so it becomes habit, this isn't going to happen in the end. It's not that you're selling someone something that they don't need or they don't want. You are actually providing a solution-based product, but it's your job to serve this person to the utmost of your ability during the call or during the consultation, so that, because what I don't sell a product as in, I don't sell watches or insurance and this and that, the other. I personally believe 100% from my toes to the top of my head, every part of my being, I believe in what I'm selling, because I'm changing people's lives.
It's bespoke to them as well.
It's bespoke, yeah, and the return on investment isn't just like, a couple of notches down on the belt buckle. It's more sex, it's more income, it's more happiness, it's everything. That's what you get.
They're ringing you, they've pulled the trigger, they've instigated it, they're ringing you because they want to change. Mm-hmm. All you have to do really is convince them it's the right decision. They've made the right decision.
Exactly.
They've done the right thing. I want to help you. Let them talk.
And that's where it becomes like...
It's not as if you've cold called them and you're persuading them to take action.
No, they're 80% there. They're 80% there to be insulted.
You just have to give them.
And that's what comes down to a great person that's a great salesman, is that the phone call should sound more like a customer service call.
Yeah.
It's like, how can I serve you? How can I help you? But it's asking them enough questions so that they give you the answers themselves. So they
talk. Yeah, that's right.
Because you don't need to be sold to. But with these guys, they already understand about.
No, they want you to convince them that they made the right decision to call.
Exactly.
That's right.
And I would say, not to blow my own trumpet, but I've got like an 85 to 90% success rate with that. With my selling. But the reason being is because I've spent so long mastering my craft and talking to the same type of person. And this is why I can't stress enough about being specific on what you do. Yeah, no bullshit.
No bullshit filter as well.
Yeah. One of my first things I say on the phone to someone is like, I'll go like ring, you'll answer the phone, John, I'll be like, how you doing? It's Russell calling about the Busy Man's Club. How you doing today? Cool. So I just want to kind of like let you know what's going on. So I'm going to have a little bit of a chat with you, make sure that, I've got enough information about you to see if the program's a good fit. You can ask me any questions, see if it's a good fit on your side, and then I'm going to ask you for loads of money at the end. Is that all right? But I can kind of get a gauge of that by your personality.
Yeah, but it's
or I'm going to tell you about the investment, or go for the price options, or however you want to say it.
It's an investment, but it's an investment in yourself.
But the biggest one I do is to see whether your balls are attached or in your missus' purse. Okay, is I'll say, look, John, you're busy, successful.
Do you want to pass the phone to her, or can I talk to you?
This is it. Are you the key decision maker, or you're okay making a decision on your own? Because we're going to come from a decision
but that
today.
in itself, right, is a clever sales tactic, because you're automatically, their backup sort of saying, no, they're more likely to pull the trigger in that respect, because it's almost a question of their manhood or what.
Calling them out. But they will say, yes, I am. So I say, look, you don't need to put me on loudspeaker, so your missus can give you permission.
Is it when they go, hang on a minute, and then they walk out of the room and the missus...
walk into the other room.
Yeah,
but I'm not being a douche by doing that. I'm just basically saying, look, like, for example, if you was going to give me an objection at the end of the call...
You're preventing it.
You can always say it's either money, time, or you need to ask the missus. So I need to get rid of the missus one straight away. Because if you do say to me, I'll make all my decisions just myself, and at the end you throw it at me, I go, we already covered that, John. We already covered that. You make decisions on your own. And I will say back to you, because... if you really are determined to help this person and sell your solution-based product, it's going to change that person's life. You need to be willing to handle these objections and be honest and real and say the stuff that most people won't, so you can have the stuff that most people don't and give them that. So I would actually be cheeky enough to say, because obviously you need to have a good skill building rapport as well, so you can go that far, and be like, John, so do you have to ask your missus every time you have that extra pint, or you stay out late, or you impulse buy this, or you go extra large on your meal, or you just do this, or you go to the strip club, or you buy that bag of Coke? This is real shit. Do you have to ask your wife permission? No. So how much is that costing you? Okay, cool. And now emotionally, everything else non-money-wise, how much is that costing you? Let's flip the script, What would you pay me to make you worse? Yeah? So I'm going to look after your health for 12 weeks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you slower, thicker, fatter, dumber, less healthy. I'm going to clog up your arteries. I'm going to give you addiction problems. I'm going to make you more sleepy, make your dick more limp. Right? How much money would I have to pay you?
No.
You can't. But does this make sense? Because it's all about trying to get people to value something. The money follows the value. Like when I got my business coach, my first business coach, I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I was in the education system. I wasn't valued. I wasn't getting what I wanted out of life. I hated travelling. I hated my bullshit salary. I hated being a slave to it, being in the system, not being able to do the things I want, not being able to spend time with the people I want and all that. And someone had a product that was a solution to my problem. And I had about 600-700 quid to my name, and that was it. And he said, look, this program's $5,000 for 12 weeks. But he asked me the right questions and told me, got me to answer myself, everything. He got my attention. He learned about my interests. He created my desires. And he said, look, this is the product. He matched everything. Asked me every single question. What do you need? I can match this with this. What do you need? I can match this with this. What is? I can provide you with a solution for all of these and a structure and a process. So when it was at the end, I was like, this is something I have to do. And he said the same thing to me on another scale. He said, well, what if I make you poorer? I make you in more debt. I give you more time at work and less time with your family, or with your health. And it was me, like, with that conversation, I'd be like, you can't pay me. Or if you did want to make me sicker, fatter, slower and dumber, I'd want like £1 million a day.
No one's going to do that.
But what you're doing is then you're placing a value on your health.
Yeah.
Until you word it that way and you think of it that way, it's like, fuck me. I didn't actually realise till now how valuable my health is. How valuable it is to see my grandchildren play around. How valuable it is to walk my daughter down the aisle, whatever.
As you get older, it does that. Like,
that value. I value my health more so in my 30s than I do in my 20s, because I know we still have delusion of invincibility, but you know.
It's inevitability as well, because you go, I don't know, you don't just get mortality consequences, there's financial consequences as well. Because when you're younger, all you care about, and I'm one of these people, I'm terrible like that. Like, when I was younger, mates would call me up, oh, we've had someone pull out of a holiday in Tenerife or something, do you want to go, John? I'm like, fucking right, I do.
Yeah.
If I had to, I'd get a credit card, loan, whatever, I'd go, and I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And it was only when I met, like, my wife, that I realised that, fuck, I've got dependents, people who need to, who rely on me to sort of, before I give it up. Like, I gave up the rugby, I gave up the boxing, I give up all of it, jiu-jitsu, and these are all things that I loved. And because I was being selfish, and I was looking at why do I need to give these things up? And she was like, well, what if you get hurt? Self-employed. What if you do this? What if you do that? Who's going to look after this? And it was like, you got to take that leap. Mm-hmm. You can have all those things. I used to ride a bike, I used to have a motorbike, and just, you can have all those things, but only when you're at a stage where you've got that backup plan, you've got that financial plan, you've got to where you've got to get to. Yeah. And there's a definition point to that, like where you've got money, passive income coming in from something, you've got your emergency fund, and you've got, and your expenses are low. You're at that point where you do it. Like someone said the other day, how do you measure wealth, right? And I wrote an Instagram post about it, like, wealth is measured by your passive income, right, divided by your emergency fund, take away your expenses, right? So that's how much you've got. So if you was to just stop work right now, right what you're doing now, do fuck all, I'm not going to work no more, I'm done. How long could you survive? How many months on the money that you've got and what you're doing, or money that's coming in, how long could you survive? That's your level of wealth. That's it. Now, if you could stop work and I could just sit here, and my passive income is enough to run the house, run the cars, run everything else, you're wealthy. Yeah. Right, indefinitely.
That is true.
Because that's wealth.
Yeah.
An indefinite stream of income. Yeah. That means you don't have to do anything. You sit with your feet up, right, and it covers everything. Yeah. That to me is wealth, right? Yeah. I'm well off because of the jobs that I have and the money that comes in is enough to pay for a good lifestyle. But I'm not wealthy. Yeah. Because if I stopped work tomorrow with everything, the money would stop. It would drain away eventually. That's right.
6 months and I'd have to get a job.
That's it. The plug, when you pull the plug out, will the water stay or will it slowly drain out? Will it drain out really quick? Yeah. That's how you measure your level of wealth. So the point is to get to a point where your passive income stream and your emergency fund can keep you going indefinitely. Like your passive income can. And if the passive income stops, your emergency fund could be 1 month, 2 months, 10 months, 12 months. That's how you measure it. Mm-hmm. In my opinion. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. And that's what I'm working towards. Yeah. And I didn't realise it's shoulda, woulda, coulda, and, Captain Hindsight and all that bollocks. But, I wish I had this mindset 10 years ago because I probably would be at that position now. Everyone does that, though. Everyone does that.
It's great to think that I know 10 years from now. I know. Because of that abundance mindset and the work I'm putting in and the plan that I'm... I only work up to 90 days max. I do have an end goal, but I work back 60, 30 days, daily tasks. That... I know that in my 40s, I will be either retired or semi-retired because I'm building that passive income.
Yeah, of course you do.
And that's where wealth comes from, and also feeling rich as well. So not just being rich, but feeling rich. And that's when you can do everything. You can still be healthy, mind, healthy body, be able to spend time
because wealth is not just money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's where we'll segue onto the next podcast because there is a documentary. I really recommend watching it. It's on Netflix and it's called Feel Rich. Okay, feel rich. And it's actually from the hip-hop industry's perspective, okay, which is also makes you think, oh, what's this going to be about? So it's all about all of the rappers and artists in the hip-hop industry that have died in their 20s and 30s, but not by gunshots or drugs, but by health problems. So there's plenty of them.
Because of lifestyle.
Because of their lifestyle, that's where the saying comes, getting fat. Like PHAT, was that back in the day when the rappers were getting the money, they were eating more chicken, they were eating more donuts, or eating more this, and they were getting fat off the industry, fat off the
Yeah,
plate.
they didn't have that hunger.
But you've got these rappers and artists, and it's all over the world. But because of wealth and because of like neglecting their health, they have died of like heart attacks, coronary heart disease, strokes, all these kind of complications to do directly with their health. So even though they may be rich, they're piss poor. And it's all about feeling rich, so that you've got everything coming in, the passive income, the health, the mindset, because, like I said, we'll speak more about this on the next podcast, but there are so many entrepreneurs that I follow that seem to have it all. The family, the lifestyle, but they've all got a good body too.
It's all image. Most of it's image. And it's filtering the fake it till you make it guys to the guys who are fucking
actually
real.
Do it.
But I'll tell you what, one other podcast we're going to have to do as well. We'll do that one as well, but not as well. We'll do one that focuses on selling from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, ClickFunnels, all the ways that you can build, and we'll systematically work through like a roadmap, and we'll do it in a series as well. We'll have to do that. But it'd be good. Again, it's been fun.
Yeah, man.
Ross, and we'll catch up next time. But cheers for listening. It's the Mad Positivity Podcast. Go to madpositivity.tv. Also, we're on Facebook, Instagram. We're on all the major platforms as well. And go to the website, madpositivity.tv. If you want to email, it's Russell at madpositivity.tv or John at madpositivity.tv. If you want us to talk about any particular subject or about investing or anything like that, get in touch. Give us an email and we'll go from there. But cheers, lads. Take it easy. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.